Hey, this is Ethan from Minimally Grounded here with another Barefoot shoe review. Before we dive into these shoes, just a couple of things to note. First, these shoes were provided to me free of charge to produce some content and provide this review. However, this will be my own thoughts. I'm not being paid to say one thing or another. Additionally, if you find this review helpful, I'd really appreciate if you like and subscribe to help grow this page to give me more opportunities to provide more reviews in the future. Today, we're having a look at a brand new pair of shoes from Rutsu. This is a new collection that they've just released called their Earth Collection. They use a new material that they call their Earth Fusion Leather, which is partially leather, partially a microfiber, and I have them in the brown color. Let's have a look at them now. So as I mentioned, this is what they are calling their Fusion Leather. It is a 30% premium leather and 70% microfiber. It really feels like suede to the hand, but it is mixed with a microfiber, creating a really nice suede look with some of the benefits of it not being fully leather. I have yet to try these shoes on. I just pulled them out of the box. I want to give you my first look thoughts first, and then we'll come back here in a bit with some real world use once I've had a chance to try them out. First, let's have a look at the toe box. So you can see it is anatomical, foot shaped. We do have the big toe kind of coming out to the side here on an angle. It's not the widest toe box. I don't have anything to measure with me right now, but if I do get a chance to measure, I will put that right here so that you can see what the measurement is. This is a US 12 men's. So that is what I wear, just to give you a reference. As I look at this toe box, I wonder if it will be a little snug for me, especially around the pinky toe. We'll give that a test. Now, moving on to the stack height, it does have a 5mm sole. So not much there. And then it does come with about a 3mm or so insole. I didn't see the listing for the thickness, but you can judge that. I believe it's probably around 3mm if I had to guess, 2 or 3. But it can be removed. It does have the cork bed with a foam insole. We'll leave the insole out for a moment and I'll do a flexibility test. You can see flexes up really nicely. That's without the insole. Now this one has the insole in still, and you can see still rolls up pretty nicely. Not quite as easily as the other, but still very easily. Looking at the grip of the sole, we've got a hexagon pattern throughout here, and feels really textured on the hands, pretty deep in some areas. I think that should provide some nice traction, but we'll test that out and see how that feels. Now let's look at the stitching on the shoe. You will see we have a double stitch all the way around here. We also have stitching on the outsole here. This should provide some extra durability and longevity beyond simply gluing on. We do have that stitching. Moving on to more of the aesthetics of the shoe, I think this is just a really gorgeous shoe. It has a monochrome vibe all the way around. They did a really good job of matching the outsole to the upper. Again, this is the brown model, so this is kind of the middle color. I really debated between the 3 different colors, but ultimately settled on this, and I'm very happy that I did. I would say it's a little bit more of a muted tone than what the listing makes it seem. The listing looks a little more brown. This has a little bit more of a grayish brown hue, maybe a little less saturation in the brown tones, and I love the way that it looks. It exceeds my expectations from an aesthetic standpoint. Here's a front view of the shoe so that you can get an idea of the silhouette. I think the silhouette of the shoe is really nice. It does seem maybe a little tight up by the ankle. Again, I haven't tried these on. It may just be the way they're laced at the moment. We'll see how that feels around the ankle as well. We do also have the pullback here for easy on and off, being able to grab onto that, which is a nice feature. Now that I've given a first look and some of my initial thoughts of these shoes without actually wearing them, I'd like to take the next couple days to really put them through their paces, test them out, and report back with what I think. back after a few days of putting in some time with these shoes and ready to share some of my thoughts. Let's start first with the aesthetics. I've already said a good bit about that, but now that I've worn them with some outfits, I have to say I love the look of these. Some of my favorite looking barefoot shoes to date. They look really good with, I have this gray pair of denim that I like to wear, and I think they just look great with that. They've got that muted tone and go so well with that gray. They kind of give me a military combat vibe with the tone and almost kind of boot shaped, but still a sneaker. Again, just really like the look of these for the tones that I like to wear. As you saw from some of the clips, it has been raining a lot here this past week. It actually started with ice, and it's been raining, and now it's getting warmer. But I did wear these a good bit in the rain throughout the week. You really can't even tell. I wasn't sure how these would hold up to rain because I didn't do any kind of weatherproofing or anything. But so far, so good. Can't really notice that I've worn them in the rain. Now moving on to the fit, as I've already mentioned, they do have a bit of a more narrow toe box than some other barefoot shoes. I'll show you some comparisons here with my Splay Revs that I wear, another pair of barefoot high tops. And initially I did feel that a little bit of a squeeze below my pinky toe, kind of on the side of my foot. Felt like it was a little snug there. I was wearing them with socks initially to kind of break them in, and now wearing them barefoot, I actually don't really notice that squeeze as much, if at all, and they're definitely more comfortable to wear around now that I've broken them in a bit. I would still caution, if you have very wide feet and you're looking for a very wide fitting barefoot shoe, you may want to look elsewhere. These again are going to be a little bit more slim compared to some of the other offerings out there. From a volume standpoint, I have a rather high instep arch and high bridge, and I feel like these provide ample room for that part of my foot. From the toe standpoint, I didn't really feel any rub on my toes. I do have often feel a rub on my pinky toe and get blisters there, but I have not gotten any blisters from these shoes, so that's great to see as well. So I have been wearing these with the insoles in throughout the week, with that little bit of cushion. Has been nice for going for walks, and I've been doing a little bit of athletic activities in the shoes just to test them out. I think you could easily take these out and they'd still be quite comfortable, but depending on your use, you may want to keep these in. I have liked the feel of this cork on my bare feet. It feels really nice. This is the first time I've experienced that, and I've got to say I'm a fan. One thing I'm always thinking about with high tops is how easy they're going to be to get on and off. I've just kind of left these loosened up, and I'm able to slip them on and off pretty quickly. Just like that, they're on, and I can tie them up and be good to go. So pretty easy to get on and off if you just leave them laced up, and I haven't really had any issues with that. So in addition to wearing these casually and going for some walks, I did run a little bit in these, as you've already seen. I had my dog out for a walk and it was raining, and I decided, let's run a little. She likes to run. And I was really impressed at how these felt. They're not really listed as athletic shoes or anything, but they felt really good running. And I also did a little bit of a workout in these as well, just to kind of test them out, and I was happy with the performance. So after recording my final thoughts with the shoes, I came out and played a little basketball, just shooting around, and they felt great playing basketball. Didn't know they were gonna feel that good. My daughter's here with me. She's doing some chalk drawings. Really cute. But she's making me run up and down the court. There goes the basketball. Making me chase after the ball up and down the court. Felt great running down the court, playing basketball in them. I could really see these working good for basketball. Maybe with their thicker insoles you could add to them. Rutsu, you should definitely make some athletic shoes. Let's go. So overall, I'm very impressed by the quality of these shoes. Again, they could be a little wider for wider feet, especially as barefoot shoes. Prefer to have a little bit more space in there. I think they look incredible. Again, some of the best looking barefoot shoes that I've seen aesthetically. They just knocked it out of the park with these. These will likely become my go-to casual sneaker. This muted brown tone is just fantastic. This concludes my review of these Rutsu Earth Collection barefoot shoes. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to help me build up this channel. And also come follow me on Instagram at minimally.grounded. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.